Thank you so much. I am very grateful for everybody respecting each other's time like this. So we're going to respect yours, and we're going to do our darndest to get this completed in an hour. So I had done an introduction last time on the phone, and it did take a few minutes, but since it's lunchtime and you can see each other's name and look each other up in Club Runner, I'm going to forego the introductions and just say welcome, a hearty, warm District 7820 welcome to everybody on the phone and on GoToMeeting as well. Tony Gabriel, I see, is joining. So we're just going to keep going because we want to respect the time, like I say. We have a pretty heavy-duty agenda. So you notice that Mark has helped us with the GoToMeeting, and it is fairly straightforward. It's a great tool. We encourage you to use it as the year goes on, and we can set up things for you. Stella is going to take about the first 30 slides, and don't panic at 30 slides. They do go very fast. She's going to tell us about the Rotary theme, and then we'll switch over to Rotary Club Central. Thanks for that note. Indeed, click your chat button if there's anything you want to say. I'll talk a little bit about Pets and Sets preparation. We have an amazing self-directed learning tool, and that's another small presentation of 10 slides, and we'll help you let you know what's next. It can be so overwhelming, and it's always one step at a time. So welcome to everyone. I'm going to comments or questions. It looks like we welcome those, and that's because we do. So please make sure that you make a quick note if we're in the mid-flow there and it's hard to stop us. We'd love to hear from you. So we've gone through our attendees. We have Stella Roy, who's going to take it from here, myself, Miriam McLeod, Mark Linehan, who is a phenomenal assistant governor in Western Newfoundland and a fabulous GoToMeeting organizer. And I want to do a quick shout out to our assistant governor. I believe we just have Kevin Armstrong from the Cape Breton area on the phone from the assistant governors. Did I miss anyone? I'm going to say no, I did not. And we've heard our participants' names. Tony was one of the last to join. So welcome to you, Tony. You're on mute, so you'd have to chat if we want to hear you. Stella, take it away, my dear.
Okay, and are you going to do the slides for me as I go? It's probably just as easy. We'll try that.
Yeah, I will do the slides. I'll be a better driver this time.
Cool. So welcome everybody. I do want to say first of all just a quick hello to Alva Hagee, who's your district governor nominee designate, who's online, and also to Roger Sevigny, who's going to help with some training in French in Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. So welcome you too, and thank you for joining us today. So I'd like to just thank you for taking the time out of your day, and just to say, you're beginning a really great, fulfilling journey. The next 6 months is going to be really important to you, and I think any preparation you do in the next 6 months will be so helpful for your year as president. So just like the Olympians, the more training you do, the easier your year will be. So please take advantage of all these things that we're going to offer you. Ask questions, get to know your clubs, learn the strategic plan in your club, talk to your members, and remember to have some fun along the way. So I'm going to be providing you with a district booklet at your local mini-conference, so I look forward to seeing you at those, and I'll be mailing the ones out to if there's anyone from outer Newfoundland, from Mark's area, I'll be mailing those ones out. And this will have a lot of information on it that you'll need for your year and help you with your preparation. So next one. Next slide, will it go? Yes. So President Gary Huang is the Rotary International President, and he has a theme of Light Up Rotary. He wants us to share our service stories. He wants us to strengthen our clubs, and he said, let our light shine in our 34,000 communities throughout the world. And he said, there's many problems in the world. What I can do, so many of us look at them and say, what can I do about them? And we sit and we say nothing. But Confucius says, if I light one candle and you light one candle, and then we can light 1.2 million candles around the world. So let's do our best, let's share our stories, let's share what we can do in Rotary, and let's have a great year in 2014 and 2015. Thank you. Next slide. So I'm going to share with you some district guidelines that we have. I realize some of your clubs won't be able to do everything I'm asking you to do, but this is just 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 slides just on some things that would be really helpful. Realizing that we're working from the club and then to the district. So as district, we're here to support you. You are the people that are important. So let's go. So the first thing in the district 7820 strategic plan is all about membership. So we really do want to engage membership and we want to attract new members. So when we talk about engagement and involvement, let's create the most vibrant clubs where members really feel compelled to stay. And those clubs will be active in the 5 avenues of service. Because you may have a member that comes in that's really interested in international, but if you don't offer international, then it's not going to be a fit for them. So let's try to be active in community service, in the international service. For some people, it's just administration of the club that they really enjoy. So let's be active in that. Youth services are another huge important area of Rotary, and then vocational service. So let's be active in all those areas if we can. And clubs, the other issue I've found in our clubs sometimes is that people aren't aware of what the club's doing. So I don't mind how you do it, but try to find some way to make sure that all your members know what your club's doing. I did a presentation on international recently at my club, and I realized that 50% of the members didn't really know all the amazing things that we were doing on the international front. I knew it because I was working on it all the time, but the people who aren't involved in your committee may not know. So you need to find some way of sharing that information so that people can go out there and be excited about what the club's doing. And finally, from an education point of view, we find the Rotary Leadership Institute is an amazing opportunity to really learn about Rotary. And we're hoping to do one in Newfoundland. The next one is coming up on April 26th in Fredericton, and there will be one in October as well. So make the most of those opportunities and help some of your club members go. And we also have some district membership coordinators that will be quite willing to come and facilitate a session at your club to look internally at your club and let your club have some discussion about what they're doing and what other things they could do. So they're not speaking to you, they're just helping you, if you want them. Only at your request. We're not going to do it if you don't want it. Next slide. So second thing about membership, of course, is attraction and then new clubs. Now, this year, Rotary International President Gary Huang has a new recognition program where when you enter a new member into the either Club Runner or into the Rotary.org Center, they'll ask you for the sponsor. And Rotary International is going to keep track of the number of members that are Rotarian sponsors. And at the end of the year, somebody who sponsored one person will get a blue thing behind their badge, and someone who's sponsored 3 or 4 people will get a different color. And if you sponsor more than 6 people, if you go to the international conference in Sydney, you will be invited to a dinner with the president. Also, encourage your clubs to do joint membership recruitment events. So if you're in an area, if you're lucky enough to be in an area where there's 4 or 5 clubs, it's kind of fun to do them together. And we're looking at ways to help you start new satellite clubs or Saturday morning clubs. A satellite club can be something like having a meeting at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon if people can't make the meeting, and so they don't have to worry about the cost of a meal. And when we were in the assembly in San Diego, they talked about a Saturday morning club where the whole family went. And everybody went. They had babysitter there to look after the children, and then the parents did the Rotary work. And then it was a really cheap. They had coffee. They all took it in turns to bring coffee and fruit and sandwiches and things. So it was an inexpensive way to have a Rotary. Whoa! What's that? Let's continue our upward trend in membership, and then let's encourage our clubs to talk to young and retired people to see what type of Rotary clubs they'd like to join and how we can really change to meet the needs of some of these people. Thank you. Next slide. The other thing is we would like you to keep up to date in the Rotary membership details. It really helps us at Rotary International and at the district level if you can keep keep your membership lists up to date if we're trying to get a hold of people or find people. If you have a club runner website for your club, you can do it all at that site. You log in, you just go into the admin at the top right-hand corner, you go to membership, click on members, and you can edit your members, and that will automatically go all the way up to Rotary International. Next slide. If you don't have a club runner site, like if your site is your own club website, then go to the district website. You can just Google District 7820 and the website will come up. And then you go through exactly the same process on the district website, except you'll have to find your club and then go into your club, and it will allow you as president or secretary to enter the members. And then that just helps us keep up to date. So we would really appreciate you doing all you can to keep us up to date in your membership list. Thank you. And we can pull a few up. So this is year 2 of our foundation global grant system, or the new, I should say, it's year 2 of our new Future Vision foundation system. It's no longer called Future Vision, it's now called the foundation, and it's been very successful. Last year we used up almost all the money in our district grants, and I think it was a significant amount, and so we were really excited how well it went. But we didn't qualify clubs for global grants last year. We had 2 global grants that clubs could participate in, which were with other districts. But this year, we're going to do some global grants, and Alva is going to be going around to qualify the clubs. Every year, you have to re-qualify your club in order to take part in a global grant. It's not a complicated procedure, and it's a day, we're going to do 1 session the day before the conference. So if you want to bring some club members in for the Thursday when you're doing your president and secretary training, there will be concurrently running an opportunity to qualify so that you can do your global grants. And if you don't qualify or feel it's too much work for your club, the district, or there's going to be 2 or 3 other projects within the district that your club could participate in, and Alva will also be able to help you with that. So we're very excited about the foundation, all the good work that the clubs are doing, and I look forward to what you guys are going to be interested in doing this year. Next slide. And then the next thing is, of course, we always encourage people to give to the foundation, but we realize that that's difficult sometimes. So we're going to just make sure you understand all the great things that the foundation is doing, especially within our district, with the money that you give. And we'll continue to let you know about that. Certainly with polio, I really know that this is going to happen. It's a very exciting time. We're almost at the end, but the end is always difficult, and we need money to help that happen. So please keep up the donations to polio if you can. Bill Gates is again matching 2 to 1, so there's up to 75 million. He's matching any money we give 2 to 1. So any dollar you give gives up to $3. And it's a very exciting time for polio. So it's going to happen. It's really reducing, and wow, this is exciting. And then we're going to do a $1 million dinner, which you will hear a lot more about at your mini conferences. And if you have any questions about that, you're welcome to send something to any of the team about that. Thank you. So just a couple of things on the polio front. It's a bit late, but Sunday, February 23rd is the world's greatest meal to end polio. So if any of you want to host a meal and do that, then you can raise money. And October 24th, we do have some time for that. Is a day to celebrate polio. So if you're thinking of doing things within your club, that would be a great day to have our district celebrate polio. Thank you. So in the training this year, we'll talk to you a lot more about that once Miriam takes over. And thank you, Miriam. She's done a great job of the training so far this year. We're continuing to develop it's not self-directed webinars as much as e-learning modules. So you're going to have 6 modules which we're going to talk about, which you're going to be able to look at on the internet at your own time, and it's going to mean that you don't have to travel, and that you should be able to do it at your leisure rather than having to sit at a GoToMeeting like this. So I really encourage you to participate in those, to take them and to learn them, and we'll talk about those at a later date. I really encourage you to go to the Rotary Leadership Institute anytime you get the opportunity. As I said, the next one's in Fredericton on April 26th. We will be listening to your evaluations of this system of the President and Secretary training this year. So please be vocal about what you've liked and what you haven't liked. We will listen to that, and we're doing it this way because we got positive feedback last year, so thank you. And we're continuing to look at ways to help to improve education about Rotary for all of you. So we're working on that. Thank you. Next slide. So here you are. If you want to learn more about the Rotary Leadership Institute in Fredericton, this is a picture of the district website, and you'll see the banner at the top, the Fredericton April 26th. Click on that, and you'll get any details you want about the Rotary Leadership Institute being offered in Fredericton. Thank you. So youth, and we've got a Rotaractor on our line today, Krista. I'm so happy to have you with us. But youth is really our future. We have only 6 youth exchange students this year. We'd really like to increase that. I know sometimes it's difficult getting host families, and I know it's a little bit onerous on the not qualification for youth exchange, but with all the police checks and things. But it's such a rewarding program. So I really encourage you to think about that. Michelle's got a large committee together now. We're doing a lot of work on the Cross Canada Tour, and that's going to happen. And it's a great program. We're looking to do some short-term exchanges if we can. Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, RYLA, that's what we were talking about with Krista earlier. There's going to be one for sure in Newfoundland in next summer. But there is an international Inter-Rota. If you have any Rotaract people who your club's associated with, I would really encourage your clubs to try and send someone to this session. This international Inter-Rota only happens every 3rd year, and this is the first time it's ever been in Canada. So it's starting in Montreal, moving to Toronto. It starts on July 26th and ends on August the 1st. And if you can send any of your youth, I know it will be an amazing experience for them. And then again, we really encourage your clubs to work on interacting with Rotaract. So thank you. Next one. Friendship Exchange is taking over from the old Group Study Exchange, which some of you may have been familiar with. I was in San Diego at the assembly in January, and we had so many countries interested in Friendship Exchanges. It is a really exciting time. I have a chair, Christina Blair, in Truro, and we've got 2 other members, Ashley Butt from Newfoundland and Karen Boydell from Sackville. And we're going to really work to have at least 2 friendship exchanges every year within the district. And we've had offers from New Zealand, from Kenya, from New Hampshire and Washington State. We have one going out very shortly to Tasmania. So you will get to meet these people when the teams come back, and it's usually 10 Rotarians rather than 4 or 5. And your spouse, it can be couples or it can be single people, whatever works. And you'll get the opportunity to meet them as they travel around the district to get hosted by you. So it's very exciting. Oh, and we've had an offer from India as well, Elf said. So it's very exciting. Great program. Next slide. So you can bring all of them up. Yeah. I just want you to know that as a district, we take compliance very seriously. We take the money that you give us extremely seriously. So I want you to realize that we are operating with the budget, we're going to be operating within the budget. We are going to make the year-to-date and the quarterly reports available on the district website. This year we did complete the new bylaws so that we're now legal within each of the 3 provinces, but we are also working at the current time on the policy and procedure, and once they're completed, they will be voted on and they will be at the conference, but they will also be available on the district website for you to read. And finally, we have an audit committee in place. We have to have one for the foundation because the money is now sent to us and we have to show what we did with the money. But we also have it in place for the youth exchange again to make sure that we're compliant with that. So we will take that seriously. And we are looking at ways to go paperless. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to try over the next couple of years to be able to give you sticks and not books and see any ideas you have on that. We would love to hear from you and we'll do our best. Thank you. One of the things that President-elect Gary Huang would like us to do is to encourage family days or Rotary days. He felt that if we could have a Rotary Day in each of the 34,000 communities around the world, that would really highlight Rotary. And he's just thinking of a family picnic and having Rotary information about during the summer or whatever we choose it to be. And I think many of your clubs already do this, but I know we don't do very much of it in Halifax. So I think we're certainly looking to do something in Metro as a joint activity. But perhaps you could look at doing something even for the polio meal or something like that. So yeah, so just an idea for you to do with your clubs if it fits with your club's criteria. Next one. So Saint Pierre et Miquelon, they are going to be 25 years old this year, and they have invited every one of us to their party. So if you've never been to Saint Pierre and you would like to go to Saint Pierre et Miquelon, you should try and come on September the 13th. Make it a holiday. Take the ferry from Newfoundland, fly from Halifax, and let's have a great big party in St. Pierre for Saturday, September 13th. I'm going over on the Thursday, hoping to come back on Sunday. There's some hotels there. You need to book early if you're going to go, and you need to get your flights early. But please, let's have some people there. It would be great. A great opportunity to see St. Pierre et Miquelon. It's a lovely place. I was there with Elva earlier in October last year, and they're an amazing club and very welcoming. So great. Next slide. There is another presidential citation this year. I'm not going to dwell on this right now. You will get a copy of this at the district conference. It is available online right now, but you will get a hard copy of it. It's quite challenging this year, but we're going to look at it and see if we can make it more doable if it's something that your club enjoys to complete every year. It's a thing that the president gives you some things to do in the club, and if you complete them all, then you get a certificate from Rotary International for your club for the year. Thank you. So I do want to just complete this slide and just tell you that you will have challenges. We'll all have challenges. But today's challenges can be tomorrow's opportunities. So I encourage you to be really quick to praise your committee members and your people, and to lead by example. Try to be as positive as you can. Try to be as active as you can, but also be a friend to your club members. Be there, your committees, they need help. So I encourage you to support, to motivate, and inspire your club. Next one. I think that's it. So let's watch and help your club members grow and shine. And that would be a really good year, I think. So I think I'm done, unless you want me to do the slide on the Rotary core values. Otherwise, Miriam, I'll hand over to you.
Well, I talked about the Rotary core values, but I'd like to hear your perspective on them, Stella, and then I'll take it from here.
Sounds great. This is the Rotary International Strategic Plan, and I have always loved this slide since I heard it. It's about 3 years ago that they came out with this. And it's very simplistic. The center is what we would use for our elevator speech. We're a worldwide network of inspired individuals who translate their passions into relevant social causes to change lives and communities. The bottom half is what you would expect to find the core values of any Rotarian that you meet. So any Rotarian that you meet is going to put service above self. So service is important. You know, if you go to a Rotary Club, that you're going to have great fellowship and that people are going to offer you fellowship. You know that Rotarians are diverse. You know we have countries throughout the world. We have different cultures. We are able to reach consensus. If we're in a club, if we have different opinions, as Rotarians and good leaders, we're able to reach a consensus as opposed to getting hung up on certain points of view. We know if you meet a fellow Rotarian, there's going to be integrity, or if a Rotarian's organizing something, you know the four-way test, you know that they're going to be honest and careful. And then finally, all Rotarians are good leaders, and if you're not a good leader, we have lots of opportunity for you to learn just by trying to lead your club, by trying to speak at your club, by trying to go to the Rotary Leadership Institute and learn. So these 5 core values, I think, are very compact and talk about what a Rotarian is. And the top of the circle is what Rotary International is doing for you. And so their 3 main focuses are to improve humanitarian service, which is the foundation, to enhance our public image, which is PR, and to support and strengthen the clubs, which is membership. So that's, in a nutshell, a very concise feeling about what Rotary is all about and what this great organization is all about, that you are the main part of. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Stella. So I'm going to take it from here, and we'll talk a little bit about Rotary Club Central. So it is not something brand spanking new, but of course with every new leader every year, everything is brand spanking new. This has been on the go for a couple of years, and this is moving us as a Rotary International right up to the Rotary Club, and I say up because of course Rotary clubs are the top of the Rotary pyramid, and this is a service, is the word I'll use, that is designed for the clubs to help create much better succession planning, and it replaces the paper planning guides that have been going on for a number of decades, and now we've gone online, and of course that allows us to make an archive which can be used from year to year. So all clubs need to take a look at that Rotary Club Central. It is available online at rotary.org. You don't need paper, it fosters continuity, and it allows clubs to track their progress year after year. Because as you know, as a Rotary president incoming, the year goes awfully fast, but when you want to move the club ahead and it takes several years, sometimes you'll need to take a little time to see that. I think I have someone eating an apple on the phone, which is awesome, but you might want to just move the receiver a little further away from the apple. The other thing I'll note about this is it's transparent for club member to club member as the leadership groups change. So there's really only positive things to do there, and one of the most positive things is one of the things we're slowest at, which is to praise ourselves for the work that we do and let others know and get others excited to join us. So Rotarians in their club. Oh, question about backing up the info in Rotary Club Central. Can you unmute, I think it was Ron, can you unmute him please, Mark?
Probably okay because I'm on the phone.
Okay, go for it. Shout it out.
Question I have, when Rotary switched to its new website, the work that we had done on Rotary Club Central disappeared and then later on reappeared, and we thought we had lost it all. Is there some way to back that up, that we could have that, say, in our own file rather than in the cloud?
Can I answer that?
Please do.
Ron, at this stage of the game, they haven't come up with a way for you to do that. You can print the page and you can get reports from it. They're working on that, but they're not going to be doing another website, so it's unlikely that that's going to happen again. That was a major thing they did on August the 1st when they updated the website. And you should be able to look back through 3 years worth of stuff. So I think it's going to be really good, and I doubt it will disappear again. I think that was just a very major undertaking when they completely changed the website. So I hope that answers that for you.
All right.
It's a tricky one to trust the cloud, isn't it?
Well, it's nice to have it in both places.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, yeah. So it's a critical point. I know what you're saying. You would have lost trust in it when you saw that upload, remove, and then add it again. But as Stella said, we're going to trust the cloud, that it's stable there now, that the club is the site rather is built and launched. Alrighty. So a little bit more about that. We have an e-learning module that takes you through the few pointers to get started with Rotary Club Central. I'll be talking about the e-learning modules in pretty good detail. So if you take a look at that before April 30th, and maybe if I may suggest you take a look at that one first, that's a great module to start with. So Rotary Club Central, there's a lot of support also on rotary.org to learn about that. So if, you know, there's so much for you to retain today. You have this presentation to look at. If you want me to repeat any of it, if you want me to send you any kind of support stuff, go for it. We will be meeting face-to-face, as you'll see in a little while, but we'll talk about that e-learning module in a short while, and it'll all start to knit together. So Rotary Club Central, which is located at rotary.org, will be available to you as presidents-elect earlier than you might think. You should have access on March the 1st as long as Rotary International has your name as president-elect. I know sometimes it's a little bit last minute for the names to get submitted, even if the club has had it decided for months or years. But as soon as your name goes to Rotary International, you will be able to get access and start that amazing process of building your goals. So we would also suggest a little note to yourself when you come to the President-elect training session in May, which is a day before the conference in Wolfville, and it will be in Wolfville in the Blomendon room. We even know the room in the Old Orchard Inn. Please bring some electronic device that you'll be using to access Rotary Club Central. And we'll be doing that as a group as well to work you through that. And we'll help you input that information and run the reports that will be available to you at Rotary Club Central. So take a look at that in advance. You may come as an expert already, but we'll look at it together in May. So it's on Rotary.org. You click on My Rotary, you click on Rotary Club Central, and those on this sheet are the type of information that you will be asked to input about membership, about your communications, about public relations and reaching out to the community, whatever projects you're doing, whatever you're doing for youth services or new generations. That name has been changing a little bit, but new generations I think is the heading that's there now, maybe youth services by now. The Rotary Foundation, again, the annual giving where money comes back to the district, Polio Plus, or major gifts and bequests. So all of that type of information is what we're looking for. So the purpose of our training today is it's an information push. Of course, you've picked up on the fact that we're not really consulting with you a whole lot. You're the second one, and I must say I'm feeling it's a little bit smoother, so it's always better to go second, I think. So we start with the go-to meeting, and we introduce some of the key points with you. So there's the 11th. There's the 13th. We're also going to do one on Saturday morning for an hour, and we're going to get folks just, the basic introduction, and then we'll be going into much more detail. Part 2 will be mini conferences, which are organized by the assistant governor in your area. District has asked all of the folks organizing those mini conferences to please address these two topics. One is membership and one is foundation. We're not suggesting what you have to talk about under those things, but whatever makes sense for your club or your region when hosting a mini conference. They're usually about 3-4 hours long with a simple meal and a very low cost, somewhere around the $10 range. It's easy for folks in the mainland, as we say in Newfoundland, to get together, but Newfoundland is such a vast province. We did create a special time for outlying Newfoundlanders. They can come in on Wednesday before the district conference Pets and Sets training. So Pets and Sets is Thursday. Outlying Newfoundland can come at 6. There'll be a mini conference for them, a nice reception, and there is some funding for the Wednesday night. Presidents-elect and secretaries-elect can join, but there's no funding for the night. So that's part 2, and a little bit more face-to-face, obviously a little bit more of information exchange. So as I mentioned, Rotary Club Central is one of those e-learning modules that are available for you on the Rotary Academy. This Rotary Academy is a shiny new idea. We felt that we got to get with the times, and we recognize that people have extremely tight schedules, and to create a number of training weekends here and there is not the best use of time and resources. So district has enabled us, well, I shouldn't say district has paid the fees, which is $20 per person, extremely reasonable, to a company called VelSoft. VelSoft is headed by a fantastic Rotarian named Jim Fitt, and these are the 6 courses that are available for you to take whenever you like. So what's going to happen is by Saturday at the latest, you will get an email from Jim Goit. He is District Governor nominee. That I got right. Sorry, Alva, I didn't get your title right. But Jim Goit is District Governor nominee, and he and his wife Barbara have worked very hard on doing the voiceovers for these particular items, and I will go into a bit more detail on these later. So this is brand new. You are the first alumni to do these e-learning modules on your own time, and we're really looking forward to you doing that. And we will also, I think, offer a little time in April for folks to come together on GoToMeeting and information share. So we'll probably offer a night to cover two, so we might offer 2 or 3 nights that would cover 2 or 3 of the items, and folks could information share and idea brainstorm about these courses and give feedback as well, so stay tuned for that. So I spent a long time on this slide, but you know how excited we are about these e-learning modules. This is a little taste for you to see what the first page looks like. You can see your progress at all time. You can review it. There's the tables of contents. We'll go into good detail about that in a minute. So Pets and Sets mini conference. We do have a number of dates available there, and even the times. The locations aren't there, but you are in your areas and you'll be able to get all that detail from the assistant governors. You can see what's available. The folks in Prince Edward Island finished their training in November, but everybody else is mostly February, March. And the reason for that is that April is a deadline for foundation, and we wanted to make sure that the foundation piece got covered in the mini conferences to give folks a little bit of time to think about it. Probably too late to get much in for this year, but to get the thinking going for a little bit earlier. So those are the dates, and it's going to be a really powerful part of the district learning, I do believe. And Stella's going to all of them, weather permitting, so that's fabulous. President-elect training with Secretary-elect. So that's the conference on, I should say, let's call it pre-conference. It's Thursday, May the 22nd. Starts at 10:30, goes to 4:30 in Wolfville. We will send you an agenda, and there will be separate breakouts for presidents and secretaries. That was some feedback from last year. Folks were grouped together maybe more than they wanted. They wanted separate times alone to be with their classmates and brainstorm. And then an important time from 4 to 4:30 as the AGs meet with their presidents and secretaries-elect and discuss President's Council. So that's an important part of the day as well. The funding, this is a quick slide to give you information. District Treasurer Jeff Party will be there to explain in great detail and have expense sheets for you. But Wednesday night there is a hotel, I'll call it a stipend for Western Newfoundland delegates. And Thursday night at the hotel there's a $50 voucher toward the room. The conference itself, every club is to pay registration for 2 people and a night's accommodation. District will pay travel and a half night's accommodation. So that's a key thing. And just a quick plug for the district conference. While I'm not on the organizing committee, I've been very excited by the YouTube video that George Lucas's team asks them to take down regularly because they use Star Wars music and infringe on trademark, and I'm all about that. And what an exciting conference they have with Pete Luckett, I can't remember that young woman's name, Alva, who was abducted in Somalia. Can you tell me?
Amanda Lindout?
Thank you. And we also have a gentleman who was a survivor of the plane that landed on the Hudson River. So it should be some incredible main speakers, great breakout sessions, and the reason I'm going into detail is Presidents-elect Christina. It absolutely does include Rotaract. There'll be some very special opportunities for Rotaract to interact, but you are very welcome to come to this session for sure. And there'll be sponsorship for Rotaract as well. So this is an amazing opportunity. I especially say for maybe newer members of Rotary or members who you feel are maybe not necessarily full-blown Rotarians, and this is their opportunity, I think, to understand what the world of Rotary offers, that it's not just a meal at a hotel or a restaurant, that Rotary is the connection to such a wide world. And it brings the district together and gives a glimpse of Rotary International. So I would encourage all the presidents-elect to think about working with your boards and try to sponsor, if your club treasury allows, more people to come to conference than, of course, just the 2 per club. It should be a great spot, and I should mention it's in the Old Orchard Inn. If you call to book your room, they will say, we're sold out. If you call and say, I want a room with the Rotary Conference, they will give you a room. Well, sell you a room. So please mention you are part of the conference and you'll get a room. That's a key piece. And tell the other folks that as well. We'll have some special go-to-meeting training for secretaries-elect in early April. We'll talk about the yearly calendar events and how critical communication is for secretaries, and the same folks will be in on the training. They have also access to the e-learning modules, and they will come to the conference the Thursday pre-conference, let's say, for pets and sets training, and they will have their own agenda as well as some crossover topics with the president. So, some key items for your distribution lists, for your iPads, iPhones, Blackberries, Android devices, what have you. Rotary International, an amazing site. It was always so cluttery, so scary. I really needed that search engine all the time. Now I find Rotary.org. For the first time, for example, I found when I logged into my Rotary, there are probably a dozen newsletters that Rotary sends out with different groups, either weekly or monthly or a couple of times a year or quarterly, and I'm really looking forward to get my first copies of those newsletters, which I just subscribed to a couple of weeks ago. So I challenge and encourage presidents and secretaries alike to take a look and maybe do a little quick meeting, perhaps, at your club to understand all that's available at Rotary.org. Our district website, webmaster, is Gord Hankin. Jim Goit is his backup. It's a pretty amazing site. We house information there. We house membership information there, documentation, key items happening in the district governor's letter. We could have a little more traffic, I think, to our district club runner site. So I will put in a plug for that and encourage you to go back to your club members and board members to do the same. Take a look. Emails, our admin office, very critical part to getting stuff done. If it was not for our admin office, I think our district would not be half as advanced as we are. We win recognition from Rotary International, from Zone, all the time, because we have such a great support office and it frees us up to do so much great thinking and doing. So that's the Gmail address to get assistance. You will hear from them from time to time. I think you will find them extremely helpful. They return emails very quickly, very professional, and we expect that presidents and secretaries-elect will be very professional back with them. And of course, the unstoppable, the energetic, the fabulous Stella Roy. There is her Gmail address, and copy that down and put that in, and you can give her feedback and encouragement all year long and say how much you're enjoying her leadership. Or give her advice, free, worth what you're paying, right, Stella? So, a little key bit of communication for everybody to know about. If your name is in the header of a district email, open it quick, get out a pen and paper or your tablet, because there's an action item waiting for you. Probably a simple action item, but we're waiting for you to answer. If you're carbon copied, and I know no one under 20 knows what carbon copy is, so if you're CC'd on part of an email, it's information. We want to make sure everybody's in the loop. We often hear presidents and secretaries complain, too much email, but we'd rather that you knew a little too much than not enough. So that's just going to be your year, and enjoy it. And if you copy your assistant if you would please copy your assistant governor when you communicate with the district or Stella or the admin office, that would be much appreciated. So we do have a number of social media sites. There's a really good Facebook site, and we would encourage you to go and like that site if you haven't seen it already. You can follow us on Twitter. I guess I'll have to admit you won't be following me tweeting on Twitter about Rotary District 7820. We've got Mark, who sends the odd tweet out once in a while, and Jim Goit as well. And we would encourage folks to tweet and let people know what's going on in our district. And we have our own YouTube channel because, yes, we are that cool, and it's Rotary District 7820. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great, he's gone, never mind. Have a great lunch. So that YouTube channel, great resource for you. You can hear the recordings of these types of calls that were done last year that are now those e-learning topics for you to access at your own time. So you can listen to current District Governor Greg Coldwell talk about those similar topics, the foundation and whatnot, on the YouTube channel. So take a look, and you will be amazed at some of the things and possibilities there. So what's now? Sorry, what's that?
This, I think this one, today's recording, will be there shortly when Mark gets it there.
Exactly. So it should be good, slides and recording. So that's worth telling your friends about. So what now? Start off with that Rotary Club Central, and again, March 1st. Once you have access, it's a great time to work with your current president, with the board, to fill in that Rotary Club Central for 2014-2015. Remember to bring your computer, iPad, or Android device to President-elect training, and I should say it's Secretary-elect training as well on the Thursday pre-conference. And go to the district and the Rotary International websites and make sure you sign up for member access if you haven't done so already. So other good point is to bring your membership and foundation goals. That'll be excellent for our conversations and PEPs at the district conference in Wolfville. Questions? We do have a full 7 minutes left, and I have only about 5 minutes of presentation. 120 seconds for questions and comments. What do you have for us, everyone?
I just unmuted everybody, so I'm not sure if anybody has anything to say. So if you do, speak up, and if not, then I'll mute you all and we'll finish off the presentation.
Hi, it's Bob. This slideshow stays at that link, does it?
I'm not removing it, that's right. I did have someone from Tuesday's session ask me for another copy, so don't hesitate to email me if you would like to have another copy. That's Bob, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, don't hesitate to ask, but it should be at that link for you to access.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. So we're going to...
I was going to say, it's also going to be available in the book that you get at the mini conference. I actually printed this presentation into the book when you get it.
Okay, we already had our, it's Bob again, we already had our mini conference in November.
Yes, okay, well, but I'm coming over to speak to you. I think you're in Prince Edward Island.
That's right.
I'm coming over in February. I'll bring them when I come.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Yeah, you get a buy one, get one free mini conference in PEI, so that's pretty lucky. And we're going to do some evaluations of this year. Thinking about this session, it is kind of standalone, but it's part of 3 main training sessions, so we want you to think about the whole piece, the whole kit and caboodle, and help us understand how helpful it was for you. So thank you for your time. We're going to see you in Wolfville. One more short presentation, and we are good. This is about the Rotary Academy. So you will get access to this on Friday. So this is a totally different thing. It is not Rotary International. It is not Rotary Club Central. These are training courses to help you as presidents-elect and to help your secretaries-elect. This is training from our district. It is unique to our district, whereas, of course, Rotary Club Central is for everybody. Every single club in Rotary needs to use Rotary Club Central. So this is something unique, something new, something very 21st century, I do believe, where we're learning on our own time and we're able to get information ourselves. So on Friday/Saturday, and we do have your email address, Rotaract specific questions, and absolutely we will talk, Christina, for sure. So we have the email address and password that will be assigned to you. You click on login. And you can, for example, start with editing your profile, because one of the things you'll want to do is change your password. You'll definitely want to put up a picture of yourself. So if you look in the left-hand corner of the slide, you see a pretty nice glamour shot of Jim Goit. So I love it that they call it an avatar, so perhaps you could put a photo of actually a blue person there. But if you want to put a picture of yourself, we would encourage that. And again, change your password. If your email address needs to get updated, all kinds of that profile information housed right there, pretty straightforward. You can then see the courses, and then you can select the courses. Will I have access to this for St. Pierre? We will give you access for sure, Roger. It's available now, so you'll have it on Friday. Are you going to St. Pierre before Friday? I hope not. So, effective Rotary Club admin, membership, all the key topics that we feel presidents and secretaries-elect should have in their pocket before they start in. So we would encourage you to maybe grab one of these at lunchtime over the next few weeks and complete these courses. I have completed them all, and Stella has completed them all. And I think, Stella, you would agree you want to allot 45 to 60 minutes per course. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would. I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just click on the course to begin. It doesn't get, it's not sneaky. It's not tricky. It is quite user friendly. So if we clicked on Effective Rotary Club Administration, this is what we get. A special note here at the bottom for iPad users. We have found in the current release, and the last few releases actually, you have to click this play button at the bottom to hear the audio. So iPad users, please get that index finger ready to play the audio on each slide, and you will hear the gentle tones of Jim Goit, who will guide you through the learning. It will play by itself for most others. To advance to the next page, oh, excellent, thank you, Roger. It looks like we've had an update, and the iPad users don't have to press play. So see, it's new and exciting all the time with e-learning. There's the table of contents, and that's there in the corner. You can see the table of contents. I'll just go back. You also see email instructor. You won't have edit page. If you email the instructor, that will go to Jim Goit. Okay, so and I'll talk about that at the last slide, how it works. So here's an example of the course we have for you on accessing Rotary Club Central. Embedded into this page, there is a fabulous YouTube video, not U2 the band, but YouTube video about using Rotary Club Central. It's embedded. You can press play right on that screen in that section here. Folks in St. Pierre should have access, but it is only in English. To expand and fill the screen, as YouTube users know, you just click on that and away you go. It's fantastic, and you get the Rotary information embedded right in there. So it's pretty powerful for sure. Oops, there's those green arrows to show us. Besides clicking on play, there's also a link. It's highlighted in blue to show you it's a hyperlink, and that will take you to the same video. So if you need help, this is what I was referring to earlier. We saw that section that said instructor. If you have a question about the material, if you think there's something a little bit ambiguous or you'd like something added or changed, that will go to Jim Goit, District Governor nominee, who has been working on this. If you have a technical problem, for example, as I said, maybe you have to hit play every time, or maybe the sound is garbled or something like that, a young man at Velsoft named Justin Brophy is your contact person. Okay, so Justin at velsoft.com if you have any kinds of technical problems with actually accessing and running the courses. He's your person. So, yippee-ki-yo, we have hit the hour. We have covered all of the slides. We have answered a couple of questions. I certainly have a minute or two if there's any other general questions, and Christina, you and I can stay on at the end for a few minutes, no problem, and Stella as well.
Thanks.
Any other questions from the general group of presidents-elect?
Go ahead, Tony.
Tony gave...
Tony, your mic is active.
I'm still here, yeah.
Did you have a question, Tony, or any comments that you would like to share at this time? We'd love to hear from you. Not to put you on the spot, but I just did.
Tony, if your mic is, if you're having problems with your mic, just go into the chat function, go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen and toggle on the orange arrow. That'll open up your GoToMeeting control panel. And on the bottom of the GoToMeeting control panel, there's a little area that says chat, and you can actually type your question there if you have a question, Tony. If not, you can always ask me after. Oh, there's Tony. Okay. So while Tony's Tony's going to type whatever his question is now.
Yeah. And again, if folks have tight timelines, I want to respect your time. So if you need to drop off, again, I will say thank you very much. Please email me at miriam.mcleod@bellalliant.ca. You probably have that email already from the invitation. Or peimiriam@yahoo.ca, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can with any answers, any documents that you'd like to see, any pointers on websites. If I don't know the answer, I will ask Mark, because he has it. Oh, mini training for Newfoundland only on Wednesday, May the 21st. Yes, because that's their really only opportunity to get together as a group in Western Newfoundland. So
and it will be
others are invited, but thanks, Adam. Others are invited, but it's a special conference. Mark, I'll let you talk to that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, Tony, it is in Wolfville. It is at the Old Orchard Inn. So the first night for the Western Newfoundland and Labrador crew is, in fact, the first night is Wednesday, and that's actually at the Old Orchard Inn. So I hope that answers your question.
And that night is funded completely for you, for those people, because of having to come in that night early.
And Tony, the webinar for Secretary-elect is in April. That's correct.
April 1st and 3rd we have chosen. Yeah. And then the Saturday, I'm sure, as well. So it'll probably be 3 dates.
Oh, good.
Okay, perfect. Excellent.
Take care of your clients, Gordon. Take care of them.
I'm going to stop the recording now, Madam Chair.